Welcome back, everybody. This is Fat Guy Sports Talk. As always, I am Aaron, joined by.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Grant.
All right, TJ had to step away this week. No big deal. He'll be back next week. Probably missed us last week. We had some technical difficulties and kind of got caught up in all the election stuff too. So we treat that as a bye week. That was our bye week. NFL teams get one. Why can't we get one?
That was our Jets game.
Yep. that was the taco game. Yeah. We'll just talk a little bit about football here, I guess. What happened over the last 2 weeks? The Bears are plummeting fast. The Packers did the last 2 weeks 50-50.
Yeah.
And then some other things we want to touch on. I don't really have much to say about the Bears. I don't know if you guys want me to lead off with that, just so I can get it out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what I'm going to talk about with the Packers either. I'm just kind of hoping Tyler will start the convo and I'll add.
The Bears are just –
they're flailing.
They are.
Yeah.
I mean –
they're playing how they've been playing all year long, and we've always been saying it. They're not that good of a team. We don't know how they're winning games, but they were winning. Now they're not.
Nope.
It's the same thing they've been doing all year. Nothing's really changed with the Bears. They're just flailing
because Matt Nagy refuses to change, and that offensive line is the worst I've ever seen. We're just playing guys that have never played, at a specific position on that line before in their life, which is not something you want to hear in the NFL. Let alone Nagy's play calling still hasn't gotten better. They did play probably one of their best defensive games against the Titans. They shut down Derrick Henry. Unfortunately, the Titans did enough otherwise to beat them, but they held Derrick Henry to 66 yards rushing. That is an accomplishment in my eyes.
Yeah. So anytime you can stop Derrick Henry from going off is a win.
Yeah.
I mean, not where it matters, obviously, but, in the heart.
But Tannehill did enough. They got a defensive score because the Bears shot themselves in the foot so many times that game. I know I mentioned
AJ Brown went off for 101 yards and a touchdown also.
Yeah, Tannehill was making dimes too. He was on his game. But I'm calling for it right now. This has to be Nagy's last year, as well as Ryan Pace's. Neither of them are getting the job done. They've done good on the defensive side of the ball, but for two guys that have been known as offensive minds, it's been pathetic. Pace should have been fired after the John Fox fiasco, if you ask me.
Yeah.
And now you got one division championship and no playoff wins. It's time to go. It's time to move on. And we did try recording last week, and one of the points I had made in our lost episode was that things I don't think are going to change on the offensive side of the ball for the Bears until the higher ups in that organization go. The Ted Phillips, the George McCaskies, those guys don't know how to run a football team. And it sucks saying because George McCaskey's from the Hallis bloodline. So you'd think he has some football knowledge there. They're businessmen. They don't know how to run a football team. And until you get some actual football people in there, I don't see the Bears' offensive woes changing for the better.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. They're businessmen, 100%. And you need people that are, yes, businessmen, but you need football-minded people in the office.
They've thrown around potential new GM candidates. One of the names at the top of the list was Louis Riddick, which I'm okay with. He's an analyst on ESPN right now, but he held a lot of coaching and player personnel positions, very well respected. I think it's worth a shot. And it would be a diversity hire too as well. There was news today that teams, I didn't really get the gist of it, but teams that are more prone to diversity hires could be awarded compensatory draft picks. So that would be a plus side of it too.
Yeah, from my understanding, it's if you're in if you develop someone and then they go into a leading role at a new team, you get the compensatory picks.
So if Eric Bieniemy would go to a head coaching job, the Chiefs would get a compensatory pick then, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Which, I mean, that's cool. I like it.
Yeah, it's breaking down the barriers. I mean,
exactly. It's what's needed.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
but moving on, staying in the North. I mean, we talked about the Bears there. We talked about the Packers. I mean, since we did miss last week, the Packers Vikings game was a Dalvin Cook show.
Yeah, and he went off this last week too.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit probably.
Yeah.
But Dalvin Cook, he's amazing.
Yeah.
He's on the level of Derrick Henry this year.
He's surpassed him, if you ask me, in terms of production.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy too that what Kamara has fantasy wise, Kamara has 5 more points, and Cook missed a week, and he's just 5 off being number 1. So, as a Packers fan that has him in his main league, I'm confused.
As a Packers fan, just be glad you're done seeing him for the year. The Bears still have to see him twice, which I'm not looking forward to, which means coming up this week too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, have fun with that. He's hard to stop, as we saw. The Vikings picked up the win from us.
He's the new Adrian Peterson. That's what he is. But the Packers did bounce back this week. They took down the very injury-riddled 49ers.
Yeah,
let's look at that. Let's look at this as it was. It was an exhibition for Rodgers to go off.
Yeah.
The team. I love the Packers. Diehard Packers fan my whole life. This game was not a game that we should have even been. It should have never been close. It never was. The only 2 touchdowns the Niners scored was in garbage time. It was 34-3 at one point. It was the Packers show. Because, like you said, the Niners had 10 people that were injured or on the COVID list?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, I just can't get over the fact that game happened on Thursday. Both teams were hit so bad with COVID, and I mean, it just...
That game should have been postponed.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. It worked out, but, like, that was... It just it was just kind of a wash of a game. Like
that morning, the Packers didn't know if they had a running back at all.
Mm-hmm.
They had Tyler Irving, who was going to be the starting running back, who is our wing back. I mean, and then Aaron Jones. He's apparently healthy as he came back.
Yeah.
That was the funniest thing we noted. That who was it? Aaron Andrews was like, don't expect him to use Aaron Jones too much, and then the first 4 or 5 plays were all to Aaron Jones.
Not just running. I mean, there were outside runs. There was an inside run. There was a screen pass. There was a wheel route that went to him. Like it. I thought that was so funny too. Like,
yeah, that made me laugh.
I mean, there's not much to talk about the Packers-Niners game besides the Packers are now solely in first and in the division.
And they're getting those Lazard back too, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
They are getting Lazard back. They're getting Williams back.
I was actually just going to mention that too. I mean, another takeaway, we already knew it, but God, Rodgers loves Adams. Another 173 yards, touchdown, like just double-digit receptions. I mean,
75 fantasy points between the two of them for me.
I mean, Davante Adams, they asked Davante Adams if he thinks he's the best in the league, and he said that's not that far off to say.
Yeah.
Put him on a team really without Rodgers, and we'll see. Don't get me wrong. He's a great talent.
That's not how the best wide receivers are done. I mean, Jerry Rice, yes, he was amazing, but he had Montana and Young. Put him on a team with Cutler. Is he going to be as great? I don't know.
Look who DeAndre Hopkins had to suffer with, though. You know.
I know. But
I'm just saying.
A lot of it is the quarterback, but.
Sorry, but look at what happened once Watson and he now has Murray. I mean, he's proven himself there with good quarterbacks. Like, I mean,
I will say this though. I think Davante Adams is probably the best receiver Aaron Rodgers has had.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll agree with that.
How long did he get to play with Driver?
Can't really argue.
Because Greg Jennings proved that he was a product of Rodgers and Favre, you know, and he is. By the way, side note, he is terrible as a fucking analyst on games.
Yeah,
he called the Bears game, and God, I just wanted him to shut up because half the stuff he said made no sense. So go find something else to do, dude.
No,
Um,
I would say Devontae Adams is the best receiver the Packers have had.
Yeah.
They've had a lot of good ones. We don't know how far it would have gone with Sharp. If he would have been better without that neck injury. But
I mean,
other than
Freeman
that,
will always be my all-time favorite just because of the he did what. Like,
oh
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
um,
Freeman was great, except for if you threw it in the numbers, he wasn't catching it. Threw it anywhere else, he'll catch it. Freeman could not catch it in the breadbasket.
I know I've told you this, Tyler, but there has always been one Packers player that I have never hated. I actually always liked this guy. Do you remember who that is?
Desmond Howard.
No.
Damn.
I'm on green.
No.
Yeah.
Robert Brooks.
Oh yeah, Robert Brooks.
Always liked Robert Brooks.
That's because he came to our hometown in 3rd grade.
I don't remember that.
Oh. Okay, well I do. I didn't get to see him. I was mad. I still hold a grudge on that one.
But moving on, speaking of other great receivers, we saw the debut of Antonio Brown with the Bucks, and that was kind of a shocker there.
Yeah, that.
My favorite thing is the meme saying that he already ruined a team's.
In one half, I already ruined this team's chemistry. That nobody saw coming. We hoped that would have been a good game, but the Saints just stepped on their balls and did not let go. Like,
Yeah.
34 to 3.
Which I have Kamara on my league, and I love it. So
I just did not expect the Saints defense to play that well against, a Buccaneers offense with all those weapons.
And that's the thing too, is like for at least the first couple drives, it seemed like the Saints actually were making the stops. It wasn't Brady being out of sync. That was actually the Saints just kind of, like you said, just stomping on their throat right away to begin with, like never letting them get any traction, and it just carried on.
I mean, you have too many stars too on a team, and I think that's a problem.
It's the Eagles of 08 or 2010 all over again.
Too many stars, too many people wanting the ball, too many egos. It's like you said, it's the Eagles. It's the Browns of 2 years ago when they got Landry and Odell. Everyone thought they're going to do great things. I did too. I was
just gonna say you were the biggest God, you would not shut up about it.
Tyler is like the lowest, low-key Browns diehard fan you'll ever meet. Like, he'll never admit it, but he loves the Browns.
That's a brown shirt he's wearing under for some
reason,
Spurs jersey.
You got a hard time convincing me it isn't, man. And the B on his hat stands for Browns too, clearly.
Clearly. Hey, I won't deny it. I mean, they had a good week this last week with the bye week.
Yeah. But the Saints control that division now. They've swept the Buccaneers this year.
Yep.
Tampa Tom's going to have to come in as a wild card team, I think, if you ask me. Which, speaking of wild card teams, holy shit, who saw this one coming? The Dolphins are 5-3 after taking down the Cardinals. They are second place in the NFC East now. Is this team making the playoffs? I say yes.
No.
They have the number one scoring defense in the league right now. Tua actually played a decent game. He's getting some confidence, and I think the team's starting to rally around him.
It's fine, but the NFC North is too strong. Honestly, you have the undefeated Steelers, you have the Ravens, you have the Browns who are behind the Ravens.
You mean the AFC North? Okay.
I was so
sorry.
Yeah.
My bad. I do
apologize.
Yes,
wrong favorite team. Wrong favorite team.
Yeah.
No, the AFC North, it's a strong division. You have 3 playoff contenders in there. And the Dolphins are 5-3 right now, but can they hold up?
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, if they can, you would think the AFC North, they're just going to be battling each other. They're going to give each other losses. That could open the door for the Dolphins.
I think they're going to be fighting.
They'll be in the hunt for sure. They'll be in the hunt probably the rest of the season, I think.
They're going to be fighting with probably the Raiders and the Titans for that last wild card spot, if you ask me. Unless the Titans win that division, then it'll be fighting the Colts. But the
but
Titans are leading that division right now. So
the Dolphins' schedule is
Uh,
Chargers, Broncos, Jets,
it's
Bengals,
easy.
Chiefs, Patriots, Raiders, Bills. You got like 3 or 4 losses in there, maybe.
Yeah.
Like that is a cake schedule for the Dolphins.
You're
If they can't
looking-
make the playoffs, like that's.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna
especially if they go to this 8-team, per side backup plan, then they're definitely making it. I'm putting my money on them making the playoffs right now. They're playing good football, and if Tua starts to struggle, don't forget
God,
Fitzpatrick is right there, ready to come
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
I mean, I
What
just
other?
caught the end of that game, the Dolphins Cardinals game, but man, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like,
I want to see that like 3 more times this year. That was a great
Yeah.
game. Kyler Murray is one of the bright young stars in this league. He's incredible.
He's a little guy.
mhm. I did not realize 5'8".
He's
tiny.
he's as tall as I am. Shut up.
Ladies and
Aaron.
gentlemen, I am 9 inches taller than a starting NFL quarterback,
As I just said, you're
And-
9 inches taller than I am.
and I'm
I
what
hate my
8
life.
years younger than him. I really fucked up.
And we're all old, we're all fat, we're all injured.
Yeah,
That's why we're fat guys sports talk. Come on.
Yeah.
This is what we
Right.
do.
Some other small things to touch on, I guess, from last week. The Bills took down the Seahawks.
yeah.
Josh Allen had one of the best games so far this year. The Seahawks are starting to show that without Russell Wilson, that team would be trash.
Mhm.
We all knew that though. Russell Wilson's always made that team since he's been on the team. They say is the Legion of Boom, all that. Without Russell Wilson, that team's going nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, and they no longer have the Legion of Boom by any means. That defense
Oh,
is
God, no.
terrible.
No.
That defense is horrendous, which as a Packers fan and just I hate everything about the Seahawks. I loved seeing that. Loved seeing it. I mean,
We got the 12th man.
right.
Any Seahawks fans out there? I don't care.
But on the other side of the ball, the Bills are 7-2, first time since '93. That was one of the last times they were in the Super Bowl. So
we'll see.
there's some magic going in Buffalo. But speaking of Russell Wilson, though, is that the only reason he's in the MVP favorite right now? Because he's so much to that team? Because honestly, Patrick Mahomes is having a better year than him, if you ask me. 25 touchdowns to 1 interception and more passing yards than Wilson.
Oh yeah, no, Mahomes is definitely having a better year. I think there's more talks in it because 1, Wilson doesn't have a MVP,
That's true.
and 2, he is the most valuable player on that team.
Yes.
He's the most there's no one like if you look at any team, he's like the most valuable player to a team you could have.
Well, yeah, but if we're going to use that argument, then Peyton Manning was the MVP in what was it, 2012, to the Colts when they went, 1-15 after he was hurt.
Something like that, yeah.
So I hate that argument. I'm sorry.
I know.
But that's what that means. Most valuable player. It's not best player. It's who's the most valuable on their team.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: if the Vikings were better than 2-win team, I think Dalvin Cook would be in that race. But since they're a 2-win team, you can't say he's that valuable because they're only gotten him 2 wins. Even though he's playing like an MVP player, he's just not on a team where he can earn that. Russell Wilson has leading his team to a 6-2 record. If he was not there, they would be 2-6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't argue with that, and I guess I'm just kind of arguing what the MVP is. It's generally speaking, it's going to be the best. It's going to be the best player on the best team, and I'm okay with it to a certain extent. I mean, you can't just have the numbers and stuff, but I mean, I don't know. My MVP right now is Aaron Rodgers, but that's never going to change. So
he is in the running. I'll give him that.
I know he is.
He's having a phenomenal year also. I mean, as I said in the beginning, I really believe the no fans is just have Rodgers like in the zone at all times. He's like, I'm playing backyard football. This is fun.
Speaking of the opposite of MVP caliber teams, let's talk about
Ooh,
the NFC
NFC
East. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Eagles still control that division, even though they had a bye week, because the Giants were the only team in that division to get a win, which brings their record to 2-7.
Yeah.
They took down the Washington football team. Alex Smith got some playing time in that game.
Alex
And
Smith
then
had a decent game too. I mean,
Yeah, and
Good
he's
for
the
every-
starter moving forward with Allen. What was it? Dislocated his ankle,
yeah,
which
yeah.
looked a lot worse. I mean, I know dislocated ankle is nothing fun, but like I seriously thought we were looking at another Alex Smith injury there.
Anytime you see somebody get taken off with that air caster on their leg, it's just like, oh,
Bro,
flashbacks, you know. But
Yeah.
on the other hand, the Cowboys almost took down the undefeated Steelers with Garrett Gilbert. Who the fuck is that guy? Before some
fourth string.
yeah, before some late heroics, the Steelers prevailed in that game 24-19 to 8-0. That is the first time in Steelers history they've been 8-0. That
It's
was
crazy to
shocking
me
to me.
because
Yeah,
the
that
Steelers,
Yeah.
as a person that's like Packers fans, Bears fans, we have historied franchises. The Steelers is this is the first time they're going 8-0. That's crazy to me.
You're talking about a team that has 6 Super Bowls, and this is the first time they've been 8-0. Not to mention, Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season as a coach of that team.
Mike Epps will be proud.
Is it Omar? No, he looks more like Omar Epps.
Oh,
Not
that's
Mike
right. Yeah,
Epps.
Omar Epps.
Omar Epps. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I'm terrible with names.
But yeah, the Big Ben is kind of banged up. He's on the COVID list right now, though. So we'll see what they can do going forward. Honestly, though, with Mason Rudolph at quarterback, I
It's
think
not a
that
bad
team's
idea.
just fine.
No.
The team's still just fine.
With the Cowboys, though, Garrett Gilbert, I like the fact that they're on their fourth string quarterback because now they're on the point of what do we do now? What the fuck? So literally, they're just throwing it around, just throwing things out, and it's I don't know, fun I guess
I'll
for them.
say this though, dude didn't look that bad. That touchdown pass he had to CeeDee Lamb, that was a nice
That was a good
throw.
pass.
Yeah.
Against that defense, he played fairly well.
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
I was
maybe it takes the
impressed.
fourth string. I mean, who needs
Maybe.
Dak?
Yeah. Maybe it takes somebody that doesn't want to run Mike McCarthy's offense to actually have success down there. So, just some other games here from last week that we touch on. The Chargers lost another heartbreaker to the Raiders. That was a controversial call. It's not that controversial. The ball did touch the ground. I don't think it was a catch there at the end. I don't know if you guys saw the ending of that game.
No, I didn't see it, but I did hear about it. I do know this is the fifth game the Chargers have had that's a close loss this year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what they did. I think it was 2 years ago, and then last year was actually the year that they got some wins, some close wins. So like, apparently they're just flip flopping.
Yeah. But Justin Herbert's making a strong case for Rookie of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
The dude's playing out of his mind. Just unfortunate he can't get any more wins. Speaking of teams,
there's also talks of Tua being Tua's now in talks of Rookie of the Year, even though he missed the first half.
Yeah, if he keeps playing like it.
Yeah,
I think it's Burrow and Herbert's race right now. But
I think Burrow deserves it definitely. He is on a team that is a bad team, and he's still playing out like defenses are worried about him.
Yeah, and he's playing in one of the toughest divisions in the league right now too.
Oh, yeah.
So, but speaking of other teams that can't get any wins, the Texans beat the Jags by 2. Nobody cares. The Ravens knocked off the Colts. Any news from that game?
No.
Not really.
Philip Rivers is old and needs to retire.
Oh my God!
Oh,
how about Philip Rivers flopping on that attempted tackle?
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, Tyler, don't even call that an attempted tackle.
No.
He lifted his hand at the leg. He went like this.
Yeah, after he was already on the ground.
Yeah. Well, actually, one thing. I mean,
he was playing dead.
I just saw highlights of it and seeing Jonathan Taylor's fumble that the Ravens returned. as a Badgers fan, like that was one thing I was really worried about with him going to the NFL. I mean, he didn't have the best numbers at Wisconsin as far as fumbles goes. And that's actually why in a bunch of my drafts I picked up Naheem Hines for that reason. I mean, I've dropped him recently, but like yeah, that was just one thing that caught my eye too. And I don't know how many he has. Whatever.
Mm,
But that's one thing to keep an eye on. He wasn't great with it in college. So
For
yeah.
my fantasy team's sake, I hope he starts getting some more carries because I'm hating to see that team go to a committee backfield there just for
Right.
my fantasy teams. But other teams picking up wins. Falcons took down the Broncos 34-27.
They held on to a lead.
Finally, hell's freezing over.
Right.
The Chiefs squeaked out a victory against the Panthers 33-31. And then we said the Vikings got a win over the Lions 34-20.
Most important game of the week. LeBron had a shot out in this game. The Patriots barely beat the Jets.
Yeah.
They had to come back in that game. They were down by 10.
I saw. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
But
That was
the Jets are.
I want to say my
Yeah.
joke, but it's so distasteful. So I will not.
No. You don't even have to say it. I know where you're going.
I know it because I told you guys, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, the Jets. I have a harder time watching the Jets now than I did when the Lions went 0-16.
Yeah.
At least then the Lions they had some players that you could watch.
Yeah.
The Jets have nothing, and it's hard to watch them.
Mm-hmm.
It is painful to watch them.
Most painful thing is that Frank Gore is ending his career on that dog shit of a team, like, which is a question I've considered too. Is he Hall of Fame worthy? Is he Hall of Fame or is he Hall of very good? I don't know. He's top.
I would say Hall of very good might someday streak in with, I mean, like
He's top 5 in career rushing, isn't he?
Well, yeah, because he's played for billions of years, which I
True.
know kudos to him.
Yeah.
But like,
I just think he's just been on so many unfortunate teams. He's never really got the playoff victories.
played
He's
for
never
half the league.
He's never got the single season accolades. He's just grinded out a very respectable career. I don't know if he's Hall of Fame worthy.
Yeah, and I'm not like trying to shit on him by any means. I'm just saying, like, Hall of Fame, no, like I don't see it.
He'll be someone we talk about for years, but
yeah,
he won't be in the Hall of Fame.
Here's my thing though. If Edgerrin James got into the Hall of Fame, I think he has a really good shot in getting into. I was surprised when Edgerrin James got into the Hall of Fame. He did get in, correct?
He had a couple rings, didn't he? Oh,
I thought he got one maybe with the Pro Football. He was 2020 class. Yep. Edgerrin James is a Hall of Famer. So,
yep.
I think he gets in because they let somebody like that in. But you just know that's somebody that loves football if he's willing to struggle and finish out his career on that crappy of a team.
He just wants to play. He likes the game.
Yeah.
And I don't even think he's finishing out his career. Are we sure Frank Gore's going to be done?
I don't know. Because I feel like he wants to play until his son gets in the league.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I'm pretty sure I mentioned that on this show, but yeah, his son is a starting running back for a D1 school.
He's a sophomore or freshman?
I want to say freshman, but I'm not 100% sure.
It's a couple of years until he's there though, but I mean, I don't know if old man Gore's got it left in him, but he'll bum around on a practice squad somewhere. But.
Well, and I really wonder too, I mean, with how long he's been in the league too, does he completely cut ties or does he stay on as a coach or something?
He'll be a coach.
Coach.
I think that's somebody that loves the game so much, he'll be a coach.
Oh, yeah, and he'll be a good
coach or a scout or something. Yeah.
He would be like the perfect talent level to be a really good coach. Like not fantastic, but like not perfect where it just comes naturally, but like you can tell he's had to grind.
Second mention in this show, just like Eric Bieniemy. Dude was a grinder when he played, and now look at him. He's a damn good coach right now. All right, so changing gears here from football for now. We haven't really touched on baseball too much. Baseball's been over. The Dodgers did pull it out in 6 games.
Told you.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Called it.
Congratulations to them. First championship since '88. Kershaw finally gets the monkey off his back, so I'm happy for him. He deserves it.
Yeah.
You guys get any other final thoughts on baseball season?
It was short. It was sweet. It wasn't 162 games, and I liked that.
Oh my god, that was the best.
I did enjoy the 8-team playoff.
Yeah.
I hope that sticks around for a while. I really love how baseball condenses their postseason 3, 5, 7, 7. I love
it was kind of cool.
So much.
I like it because when you bring in more teams, if this had been a full 162 game season, there would have been a lot less meaningless baseball towards the end of the season, because you have how many teams that are already eliminated, and there's still 2-3 months left in the season. With here, you have more people coming in. You have another wild card team per each division, basically. Almost all of the games are still meaningful at some point.
Yeah.
And I really think baseball should look into permanently shortening a season, maybe not to 60 games, but knocking it down to maybe 130 at least or something,
or even 100. You don't need to have more than 100 games. There's no reason for it.
For real.
I mean, I know baseball fans have always been, and I shouldn't just say baseball fans, baseball in general has always been stuck in its ways. So it really took something like the COVID-19 pandemic for them to actually make this change. I mean, I never thought that we would see DH in NL, and now it's just, that's going to happen moving forward. I haven't even heard much debate on it.
No, I think the DH is going to stick around.
I think so too. Now that we have that, though, what do you think we'll see next? A shortened season and expanded playoffs permanently, or
expanded playoffs,
or another 100 years is what we're going to see,
or robot umps? Which will come first?
I hope to God robot umps, and I even hate that robo ump. That's not what it is. It's
all they need is something for pitches. You can keep the umpires in the field and whatever, because you have replay for that. As long as you can get a virtual strike zone, because now that we have it on TV, we see a lot of fucking bad calls. And I think benefit big time from that.
Yeah, it definitely could.
And you can even see in the strike zone that they're putting up there, it changes from batter to batter. I mean, it's not the one that it was a couple of years ago, which I hated. It was always the same strike zone. They're actually adjusting it based on the batter's stance and the height, and
how it should be.
And exactly.
And it's showing that they have the technology. I don't think that's ever really going to be part of the argument, but still,
your point exactly, though. It's such a traditional sport that any change, the old timers that know baseball from when it was in the 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever, they never want to see a change. And as long as they're still around, it probably won't.
Any fan is going to be like that. Look at the people who like the NFL before they started protecting their players. They say, oh, it's just pussify. It's weak hits. People get called penalties all the time. I mean, we say it. We say those exact same things sometimes. It's because we're used to what we watch. But it's going to be better for the players and better for the game in the long run to go to the robo-ump, because it'll do its purpose. It'll give you proper strikes and proper balls. It'll save the game.
One more
and
baseball
robots
note.
Are cool.
Yeah, that's cool. One more baseball note before we move on, though. Did you all watch the final game of the World Series? I feel like Rand, you did. Was Rob Manfred fucking drunk in his awards presentations, or what the fuck was going on there?
I do not know, honestly.
From what I hear from a lot of media people is they think there was a lot of feedback that was fucking up his voice, but something was wrong with him. And when he was presenting trophies, he was either drunk, having a stroke, or something was going on with, really bad feedback. So
All three.
I was just gonna say, and any combination.
yeah, I don't know. I thought that was pretty funny. So moving on though, basketball. We are in the off season right now. The big news I think that came out from them, they have finalized a deal to start a full 72 game season on December 22nd, which means
Baseball's back.
it is back. We got a draft to prepare for here next week on the 18th, right?
The 18th, and then free agency starts on the 20th, with signing on the 22nd. So the next week is going to be a big week for basketball.
I think before we touch on anything free agency, I know there's some really good mock drafts out right now. The current one on ESPN has LaMelo Ball going first, James Wiseman to the Warriors at number 2, Onyeka Okongwu to the Hornets at 3, the Bulls taking Anthony Edwards at 4, and then Tyrese Halliburton going to the Cavs at 5. Grant's probably going to be a little silent for this part. So, Tyler, what's your thoughts here on the mock draft so far? Do you see any teams making moves or?
I could see. So there's been lots of talk, rumors that the Suns are trying to get CP3 there now. So there could be a movement either to bring the pick there, and I know the Wolves want Devin Booker. So if they could give him the first pick, they could either bring LaMelo or Wiseman down there. Though that 1-2 pick, they can be flip-flopped. It can go either way. I've been pretty high on LaMelo Ball. I mean, yeah, he's part of the Ball family, and whoop-de-doo. But look at the kid's intangibles. I mean,
I do think he'll have a better career than Lonzo.
His whole family said he's better than Lonzo. He's gone from 6'2" to 6'7" point guard. He's played professional ball too.
Yeah.
It's not like he's playing college. He's playing professional ball. Yes, it's in Australia, but he's focusing on the professional ball, and he played in a small-time league over there to focus on playing, not to focus on all the distractions and everything.
I truly don't see the Timberwolves hanging on to that pick. I see a move coming somewhere. One of the rumors is the Bulls could move up to take him. The Bulls are high on LaMelo Ball. I could see them, sending Zach LaVine back to Minnesota for that number 1 pick, and having Minnesota move down to the 4 and the Bulls taking LaMelo Ball. Would I actually like it? Maybe not. I do think Anthony Edwards would be a better pick if he's there at 4, because we need scorers. And he's a guy that can stretch the floor. He can score from anywhere. I would love to have him on the team, as a to go hand in hand with Kobe White. That would be a great future. Billy Donovan would be a good coach for him too.
Yeah.
Honestly,
that top 5 though isn't a bad top 5. It's pretty well rounded. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. One thing I do want to bring up about this offseason for the NBA.
Well, hang on. I just want to talk a little more about. I'm more intrigued. I had talked to you before we started recording here about the mock drafts at the end of the first round. Some picks that intrigue me. Potential Cole Anthony from North Carolina going to the Nuggets, putting him in a backcourt with Jamal Murray. I think that would be a scary backcourt there.
That'd be a good backcourt for sure.
Yes. And then if the Thunder do trade CP3, I do see them taking what they're projected is to take Cassius Winston out of Michigan State. That would be a great guy to come in and take over for CP3. Although the Bucks pick right before them, and I would love to see the Bucks take him at 24.
That's where I was gonna say. I would love to see him go to the Bucks. I'll say Cassius, he's a great player, great all around.
He has drawn comparisons to Donovan Mitchell. That's the scorer that you need in Milwaukee to complement Giannis. Yeah. I would, if he's there at 24 for the Bucks, or if they can even move up and get him, that's the guy they should take. Yeah. The other intriguing pick too. People might know this guy. He was very viral in high school, but Nico Mannion from Arizona is projected to go to the Lakers. Kind of like the second coming of Alex Caruso. I don't know what to think of that pick though. This is a guy that I expected a lot more. He was highly touted coming out of high school, and still making it in the first round. But I thought this guy would be a lottery pick someday.
I don't know.
Good for him.
Some of those players that are highly touted out of high school, that get all the internet viral sensation, they don't pan out. I mean, look at Thon Maker.
Yeah, that's true.
Panned out for his draft score, but it didn't pan out for his career. He
Yeah.
was all over the place in high school when he was 13 or 22 or whatever, however old he was. And then the Bucks grabbed him, and yeah, I liked him and all, but he wasn't a great player at all. Wasn't nearly what he was supposed to be.
No, he never panned out, and
And
there's
that's what I'm afraid that this guy's gonna be the same way.
there's that other freakishly tall dude that dude is like 7'7", but is like all skin and bones. That Robert Borbonsky or whatever.
He was going with Gobert.
No,
that the kid
no, that's a different guy. No, there's this. You got to look him up. He's got like a bone disorder or something too, but he wants to play pro ball. But like, he's tall as fuck. He's like 7'7".
That doesn't mean anything, right, Grant?
I'm not 7'7" for Christ's sake.
You're still tall as fuck. Okay.
I mean, sure. You're still short as fuck.
All right. But yeah, so I'm super eager for the draft to come up. I'm sure there'll be some more moves and more mock drafts as we get closer to it. But
I'm also eager for two things. One, the Nets. I want to see how they play with KD. But two, there are teams that have either a 3-month off season or a 9-month off season right now.
yeah,
I really want to see how this is going to play out, because teams like the Bulls. When was the last time y'all saw each other? Like
fucking February.
it's gonna be like a family reunion.
Well, they have teams like that have been able to hold workouts and practices, so they have
right,
been
but
actually.
it's still not. Is it going to be more beneficial or less beneficial for them?
Well, for one thing, they'll be well rested.
And also, there's rumors that LeBron won't even play in the first month. People are thinking that he won't play in the first month of the season.
Yeah, I know. He was. I'm sorry, man. When they came out and said they wanted to start on the 22nd, and his social media post was like this shaking my head face palm. Like, if you want to be considered the GOAT, you better want to play whenever and not complain like, oh, we got to start now. No, dude.
I mean,
if you want to be respected and they tell you this is when you need to play, you go fucking play.
Oh yeah, look at Dion. He played playoffs, World Series. He played everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dion played in the NFL and then the World Series. I mean, come on.
It's little reasons like that why LeBron, his legacy just has, the little tarnishes on it. Yeah.
His legacy is different. He's not going to be the same legacy as Jordan. He can't even get close to the same legacy as Jordan.
No.
Jordan's legacy isn't even the same as what it should be. I mean, he came back, went to Washington.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if he wouldn't have done that, Kobe's the legacy you want to chase. Tim Duncan, Dirk, those are the legacies you want to chase there.
Bill Russell,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like those are the legacies you really want to chase. LeBron's legacy is going to be that he can take any team to the finals.
Right.
That's his legacy. It doesn't matter where he's playing. You put them there, they're going to the finals. Are they going to win? Probably not, looking at statistically.
Like 40% of the time, maybe.
Yeah, statistically, no. But they're going to make it.
Right. So the other big news here, this episode will hopefully be dropping when it starts, but we are finally getting the Masters. This is the most unique Masters we've ever seen. Usually in April, it's in November. Tiger's looking to go for his record-tying sixth green jacket. I don't know if he'll get it though.
He might. He plays well at Tiger or at Augusta, but
yeah,
it's supposed to rain a lot this year, so it's going to be cold and slow.
Yeah.
So it might help him out because his distance is not there as much as it was.
Yeah.
So that might help him out, because I know they're saying, what I was hearing is a lot of the long shots, people that can hit the ball far, they can't play well on Augusta when it's wet and cold. So
that's why I know Bryson DeChambeau is getting a lot of hype for being a favorite. But if it's wet and rainy like that, I don't expect him to do that well. Some of the other favorites are Xander Schauffele. I'm saying his name right. He finished runner-up there last year, and he's been top 10s pretty consistently. So be on the lookout for him. Rory's getting some love too,
He always does.
as well as somebody who hit one of the most miraculous shots we've ever seen.
I will say
John Rahm.
the most miraculous shot I've seen.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been nothing I've known that's close.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, we'll probably try and put it on our Facebook page. I don't know, Grant, if you saw it. John Rahm skipped a hole-in-one across water. It's amazing. It has to be seen to be believed. Yeah.
That's the only way you can describe it is he skipped it like a rock.
Yeah.
Like,
and not even like does it go straight in? Like he played the green.
Mm-hmm.
Like not only did he skip it, he played the green and had it roll in. It
rolled the entire length of that green, which it is tradition on practice rounds at that hole to try and skip it onto that green. But I can't remember ever, knowing anybody that's aced that and that.
I don't think anyone has.
It's damn impressive.
And the fact that it's Augusta greens, so we know that they're not the most fun greens to putt on all the time.
Yeah.
So
it is going to look super different, and I'm so excited to watch
the leaves.
Watch the Masters. Yeah.
Well, and one thing I was really disappointed about, I mean, we're recording this on Wednesday, and that's usually when the par 3 is. And that is probably the most golf that I watch in a year. The Masters par 3, just watching them all have so much fun with the legends. And dude, I mean, I completely get it. There's absolutely no way that it could happen this year, but still kind of a bummer. But I mean, I'm excited. I'm going to be watching it on Sunday. Hopefully it's close, but
I want to see Tiger Red.
Yes. I hope he makes the cut. I hope to see him there Sunday. That'd be awesome. Will he?
Odds are no for being there, being in the top. He hasn't been playing well. He's old, as we know. He is losing his touch. He's had a battle with injuries over the years, but it's the Masters, and Augusta and Tiger have a special connection.
Yeah. Not to mention, they had the Champions dinner last night, and I saw the menu from that. God damn it. Since we are fat guys, I might as well tell you what was on that menu. There was what they called the Augusta roll. It was a shrimp tempura, tuna, and eel sauce sushi roll. And then grilled steak fajitas. And then a 3-piece dessert trio of flan, churros, and something else. And then some wine. It looked fucking delicious. So that would be like a goal in life, just to win the Masters so I can go to the Champions dinner every year. But one person who actually wasn't there was Sergio Garcia. He actually tested positive for COVID, so he will not be playing the Masters this year.
He'll probably spit in the cup anyway. I wonder if that's the test he got, where he spit in the cup.
I don't get it.
You don't remember that? About 10 years ago, I'd say Sergio got pissed off at a hole and spit right into the cup on live TV, which, if anyone in the golf world knows, extremely disrespectful.
Yes.
And he hocked the loogie right into the cup.
Never really liked Sergio. He's kind of a dick.
Oh no, neither have I. He's great. He's good, but
not saying I want anybody to get COVID, but like the fact that I don't have to watch him play golf, that's not a bad thing. So, but like I said, I do hope he recovers.
Oh yeah.
But Grant, since you've been quiet here for a while, we'll give you some FaceTime. What's going on in the world of F1?
Yeah, that's no, I mean, it was a couple weeks ago now, but Mercedes got their 7th straight World Constructors Champion, or Constructors World Championship. 7 in a row ever since the V6 turbo hybrid era came in. They've just been absolutely, I mean, they've won 7 straight, but they haven't dominated every single season, but most of them. Really getting into the final hours of who the drivers are going to be next year. And I know I mentioned it last time. Haas F1, the American team, still hasn't signed their drivers, but it's expected to come after this week's race, which is in Turkey, which I've never seen them go there either. So yeah, 2020 has been a fun year with F1. And one last thing is they did confirm, like, mathematically the winner will either be Lewis Hamilton or Valtteri Bottas, but that is just pure, like, it's going to be Hamilton's. I believe he can clinch it this race or the next one, and I'm just assuming he will. So
How soon
yeah.
before Michael Jordan gets a team, seeing as he's already delved into NASCAR? Does he get an F1 team too?
No.
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 I did see his car that Bubba Wallace is going to be driving next year. It looks pretty sick.
Yeah,
That was pretty slick.
that is pretty cool. TJ will probably be super pissed that we even mentioned anything NASCAR on here, and I love it.
Yeah.
No, we mentioned it and TJ fell asleep instantly.
I think it's funny you think he'll be watching us for this long.
If you are watching us this long, I guess one other sad note that happened this week. It's not technically sports, but it is. We lost Alex Trebek this week.
Yeah,
probably one of the best game show hosts of all time, which was total shocker. We knew he'd been fighting cancer, but did not see this coming. So
to be someone who lost a parent to the same cancer, it wasn't much of a shocker. I mean, he came out, he told us he has pancreatic cancer. Those who don't know, pancreatic cancer has a 2 to 7% survival rate. This is going to be my soapbox because November is actually Pancreatic Cancer Month. So anyone, if you like, please go look into it, donate, do whatever you got to do. I lost my dad to it, Alex Trebek, Steve Jobs. Yeah, it can touch anyone. Rich, poor, doesn't matter. And it doesn't get enough coverage.
It's true. My extended family's been touched by it too. It's very, very bad.
Yep.
So yeah, if you can, go research it, donate it if you can. We need to spread some light on that.
Yep.
Which
can.org.
There you go. Free plug. Which also, on a lighter note of that, it made me realize that Bob Barker is still fucking alive.
Yeah, I'm still on. I saw on the thing that he's not gonna die.
Right.
Have we seen him? No, because he's actually cryogenically frozen.
Probably.
He can't die now because he's with Walt Disney.
Yeah. Bob Barker is 96 or 97 years old.
So is Betty White.
Yeah. I think they're probably, having a bet like which one of us is going to die first,
Dark, but I like it.
So help me God, if they die in the next 2 weeks, I'm finding you guys. Like,
well, Grant, you know where we both live.
Yeah.
Once you brought Betty White in here, like, nuh-uh, you don't even say it just in case. Like,
you don't say that.
You don't say that. Like, you don't say that.
Speaking of plugs, though, we should plug our own show.
Yeah. Big news.
We're on everything.
Yeah. We are everywhere now. Don't even
we're
know
in your ear holes.
Yeah, if you're watching us, you're on YouTube. Go check us out on YouTube.
If you made it this far, here.
Yeah. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. What are all the other ones? I don't even know.
Pocket Cast, Stitcher,
Stitcher,
Podcast Republic.
All thanks to.
I haven't checked iHeartRadio yet. If
I haven't either. Yet. We could be, but it's all thanks to the Anchor app. So free plug for them. Go check out Anchor. Give us a listen. Support the show. We'd greatly appreciate it. We'd love some feedback too. Hit us up on an email if you want us to answer a question or share some thoughts or have a debate. thatguysportstalk@gmail.com. I'll also share that in our description on the video and the episodes on the podcast networks as well.
Are we not doing trivia because TJ's here, or did we just?
Do you want to? We can, because I'm pretty sure he cheated last week. So
yeah, I was, dude. That pissed me off so much. You can hear him clicking.
Yeah,
and I get yelled at because my fucking ankle started to hurt, and I started massaging it.
Okay,
ankle.
So we will pick up. He did pick the NFC West, and I get to pick the position. And I chose quarterbacks. So But this isn't going to be starting quarterbacks necessarily. So we'll start with the current players. We'll start with the Seahawks. Geno Smith.
West Virginia.
God damn it, West Virginia.
West Virginia, yeah. I'm not going to tell you if you're right or wrong until both of you answer. So just
Okay.
go ahead. Yeah. West Virginia's correct. You guys should get this next one on the Cardinals. Brett Hundley.
UCLA.
Tyler?
I honestly couldn't remember, so I will agree.
It is UCLA. Yes.
He gets no points. He gets no points.
That's why I said I didn't remember.
All right. To the 49ers. Nobody gives a shit about their backups, so we'll go with Jimmy Garoppolo. This is a tough one.
Tyler, I'm asking you to go first. I know it.
If you need the conference, just let me know.
Yeah.
Nope.
Grant doesn't need the conference. Tyler, the conference is Ohio Valley.
I have no idea. Do you go to Miami of Ohio?
Eastern
Grant?
Illinois.
It is Eastern Illinois.
One of my good friends from a while back, he went there and he was like, "Yeah, I was in the same class as Jimmy Garoppolo," and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." So that's
also, also from Eastern Illinois, Tony Romo.
Oh yeah.
I did know that.
From nearby. And this should be an easy one, Jared Goff, because there's nobody else on the Rams that you probably fucking know of. So, Jared Goff.
Cal?
Tyler? We're live, dude.
I know this.
No dead air.
Hey, don't judge me. Oklahoma.
It is Cal. Grant.
Okay. I knew it wasn't Oklahoma,
Sleeping
but
in.
I didn't want to say the same thing he did because
All right.
I didn't know again.
So let's go to the legends. I will give you some major props if you get some of these here. We'll start with the Seahawks again. Matt Hasselbeck. Seeing as he's the only, decent Seahawks quarterback besides Russell Wilson. Again, if you need the conference, let me know.
Yeah, what's the conference?
Yeah.
Big East.
Big East back then.
Son of a bitch.
Boston College?
Tyler?
Trying to think of what was Big East.
Marquette doesn't have a football team.
No, I know that.
Oh, no, they were Conference USA back then. Damn it. Never mind.
Does Villanova have a football team?
They do. I don't know if they
Sure.
did back then.
Sure, Villanova.
Grant, nice job. It is Boston College. All right. Next from the Cardinals.
Told you I was going to be bad at this, okay?
One of my favorite players and nicknames
Jake the
of
Snake.
all time. Jake the Snake Plumber.
I knew you were going to say it. Where did he go to college, though? What's the conference? Yeah.
Pac-12.
Okay. USC?
Tyler?
Oregon.
No, both of you are wrong. He actually stayed in state, Arizona State. He was a Sun
I was
Devil.
going to say Arizona. I would have still been wrong, but I would have been closer.
All right.
No, you didn't let me finish.
Next quarterback here for the Niners, Steve Young.
BYU.
Yeah, BYU.
BYU, the Stormin' Mormon.
Give that one to Tyler. He answered first.
All right. Grant, you've got a lead that can't be caught. But so just for fun here, for the Rams.
Even though I'm wearing Falcons colors, let's not blow this.
Okay. For the Rams, Kurt Warner.
The
Kurt Warner.
Or no.
No.
Was it the CFL or was it the USFL?
It was the USFL.
No,
it was the
wasn't.
European Football League, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. It was the Arena League.
That's right. Okay.
The Iowa
Where
Barnstormers.
did he go to?
They
Where
had
did he
the
go to college?
Arena League back then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was from the Iowa Barnstormers. But where did he go to college?
The XFL.
Conference.
There's not many that we missed.
Yeah. What's the conference?
Conference is Missouri Valley.
What the fuck's in the Missouri Valley?
Yeah.
I'll give you another hint. He played for the Iowa Barnstormers, so think around that state.
Did he go to Iowa State?
Grant, you got a guess?
Nebraska.
Northern Iowa.
Oh,
That was probably the toughest one. So,
Wait,
No.
Northern Iowa?
yep, Northern
Where is
Iowa
it?
Panthers. Yep,
Oh, I was thinking Upper Iowa University, the Peacocks.
the Peacocks. Yeah.
I would have been so excited.
The terrifying Peacocks of Upper Iowa. All right, so Grant, you got 5 right out of that, I think 5 or 6. I don't know. You won, whatever. So, your division or your position, whichever you want. Pick a position or pick a division.
I didn't realize I could pick the position. I never get to. Oh.
When's it my turn?
Missing half the equation, but whatever. Oh, let's just go quarterbacks. That was fun.
Quarterbacks. Okay, I will
Yeah.
pick the division, and we'll do it again next week. So,
College football. We should talk on that for just a little bit.
but we can throw in a
Next
little
week.
bit of college football here.
I mean, Notre Dame beating Clemson. I know they were without Trevor Lawrence, but that was pretty cool to see. I mean,
I don't even care.
I like Notre Dame. I'm not as passionate about them as I know you are, Aaron, but
I really don't think they should be, an asterisk next to that victory. Yes, they were without Trevor Lawrence, but DJ Uaga Boogalaga, whatever the fuck his name is, dude had a hell of a game, and he's
He
probably
did.
gonna be, a Heisman Trophy winner here in a couple of years.
yeah.
That game went to 2 overtimes. Notre Dame usually doesn't win those close games like that.
Yeah.
So that was a great victory for them.
I absolutely love college overtime so much. Like,
The NFL needs to adopt it.
Yes.
You just start at your 40 and let's go.
Yeah, push it back. Don't start at the 25 because, as Clemson showed, you can score in one play super easy there. The NFL needs to adopt that, but move the ball back to at least midfield, if not further.
I mean, I'm all right with it starting at the 40. Like,
It's still a field goal already, basically.
57-yard field goal. That's, I
If
mean,
you're in a dome, that's an easy field goal.
That's in the NFL nowadays. That's an easy field goal almost.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still gonna watch it every single time it's above 50. Like,
but because of Notre Dame knocking them off, there's a new number 1, and it's fucking Alabama again.
Yeah.
But
we'll see what happens this week because I saw 3 SEC games were postponed. The Badgers, who knows what's going on there.
Ohio State and Maryland just got canceled today.
Yeah. So
Pac-12 did return last week too, but it's
some of the Pac-12 returned.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know the governor here said that if the Badgers have another outbreak, they're shutting down Badgers football for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So
it's college football is just such a toss-up right now. You're
Yeah.
really only watching for who to see in the NFL next year. I don't know where bowl games stand, where the CFP stands, if we'll even have that. So I mean, it's nice to have football games on Saturdays, but I mean, it just kind of sucks when we don't know what the end product's going to be.
Right, exactly.
The NFL, we're still looking forward to playoffs and Super Bowl. College football, we have no idea what we're looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that finally going to do it?
That's finally going to do it for me.
All right. Well, we will see y'all next week. Thanks again for checking us out. As always, I'm Aaron.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Grant.
We'll catch you next week.